Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the Shit Vegan Show. Got a few viewers already. It's going live. Tuesday night, 7:30 on the dot. I reckon I was a few seconds late this time, but that's all right. So what's been going on? I have missed something, which I've got to do quickly. I'm still here. I forgot to put my phone on its dock so I can view the stream. What's been going on? It's been another week. Just live on the Shit Vegan Show. How shit are vegans? Vegans are the shittest. Like, how hard is it to reason with a vegan? Vegans don't know anything. They're just so angry and so frustrated. And they just don't know what they're doing. You know? They just sit there and do nothing. They don't care. They don't care about what's going on in the world. They're just sitting there, just getting angry for no reason. At least, that's what many people who try to argue with vegans would say. Because what we're doing is, as you know, if you're a fan of the Shit Vegan Show, what we're doing is we're just holding the mirror up to you and your actions. Like the mirror was held up to us to show us our actions. I just came from the gym, dropped my girlfriend home, and then had to race straight down here. I managed to get into Zambreros and eat a burrito though. So yeah, sorry, Soph. Yeah, we're just uneducated, you know. We're simply uneducated. Thanks for keeping me company. We get a few usual normal viewers coming through right about now. Who wants to see Sophie on the Shit Vegan Show? We'll get her on one day. We've been meaning to do something together. Got a few people piling in. Drop us a line, ask us a question. Just talking about veganism and vegan ethics. And yeah, today I had something lined up. To talk about in the show. I was going to get a list of all of the, well, we'd be here all night if I went through all of the excuses as to why someone wouldn't want to go vegan or be vegan. But we'd be here all night. And I was going to use the Carnism Debunked website. So for those of you who aren't aware, Carnism Debunked, www.carnismdebunked.com or just Carnism Debunked. Run by a friend of mine from the UK named George Martin. Going to have him on the show soon. Going to have a chat about all things to do with veganism and his life and how he views the world when it comes to trying to defend the philosophy of veganism and harm reduction. So yeah, that will be very interesting. So stay tuned for that. So that was the original idea for the show. Go through a whole bunch of excuses and talk about them and put my own thoughts on them. Because, to be honest, I don't get many detractors on the show in the comments. But I do get a lot of people who are involved, jumping on and having a chat. So I suspect my friend Avery is going to come through. I suspect my friend Tia is going to come through. Chris Delaney, maybe. Remember Chris Delaney? Old mate who wrote this one. And you all know this one. Such a track. I ate a little something just before too. Something to help me with my sore bones and muscles. So yeah. So this morning, I woke up after sharing an image. Well, this morning I shared an image that... No, it said 22 hours ago, actually. I shared an image that my friend from the States, Kate, shared. I think she might have created it. And I got a bite. And you might have seen this image around the place when there was the climate protests and all this sort of stuff on. But what's happened is it's been changed up, just using Photoshop or Paint or something. Oh, by the way, if you're here, go across to Instagram and YouTube. Hit follow on Instagram and subscribe on YouTube. Just look for Shit Vegans and you'll find it. Yeah, so Kate created this image and shared it around, and it's getting a few shares. So she's moved it through a few times, and there's been a few things said on her post when she shared it. People just don't like it. They just think it's wrong or whatever, when really it makes complete and total sense. So this is the image that was shared. The image says, "Shut the fuck up about women's rights if your mouth is full of dairy. Watch Cowspiracy on Netflix." So her post, it says, excuse me, "Dairy is rape, forced birth, and so much more than you'll ever go through as a privileged human. Be vegan today." Makes sense, right? Because, if you don't know what happens in the dairy industry, I'm willing to go through it for you or with you, and we can hold each other's hands while we witness the atrocity that is the dairy industry. I've witnessed it many times through the internet, yeah, not with my own eyes, no. But even the description of what happens is enough for me to decide to not want to participate in it. So I had a bite today. Now, this little symbol here, up here, this little thing here, it means it's public, right? Public. So it means that whenever someone posts that, they're okay for the whole world to see it, right? That also means if you're someone who comments on it, you are okay with the whole world seeing your comment and the whole world knowing who it is behind the person who made the comment. So I had this comment here from this person called Adam, KCOS, someone I know personally. And all of the interactions we've had personally have been civil. I've had him around my place a few times, once or twice in the past. I've hung out with him a couple of times. It's been cool, really fun. And so he goes to drop this comment. So we're just going to go through it. So just everyone shut the fuck up and go read a book, lol. Okay. So it begins, because the way I advocate on Facebook is I say something in order to try and get a conversation going. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean. Few more viewers here. And if you're here, feel free to drop a line, ask a question, have a chat to me. This is an interactive show. We like to talk to people here on the Shit Vegan Show. I think you'll like my mood lighting that I've got. Check out the mood lighting. I've got me a candle over here. And then a light bulb right here. Didn't really get me. I'm just kidding. I love it. Yeah. So what happened? I responded by saying, Adam, that's not an argument. You know, when someone comes up and says, just shut the fuck up and go read a book, it's like, what we're saying, what has no value to the person who's making that comment, or it just means nothing to them. So, what you're saying is complete bullshit. You should go and read a book. Well, first of all, like I said, that's not an argument. You're not providing an argument to the post that I've made. You're not providing something to challenge what I've said. You're just dismissing it. So I point that out. And then I got a response. WTF is actually wrong with you, man. I don't want a fucking argument. You got a chip on your shoulder, innit? Go read a fucking history book. You dumb, ignorant, arrogant, uneducated Aussie fucking dummy. I think we should talk face to face. I live around the corner. I mean, we can. Like, I'm willing to talk to you face to face about it. And I think we've had a conversation about it. You told me that you didn't eat meat, and then we got onto the subject of dairy, and you consume dairy. So basically, this post, I guess, can relate to you some way, somehow. And, you know, I'm willing to have you on the show. Like, I'm willing to have anyone who disagrees with what I say on the show, you know, to stand here next to me or come through Zoom or come through Facebook. As long as we keep it on topic and as long as we aren't personal. I'm not making this personal. I'm just making this, the things that have been said on public, reach a wider audience and shared in a way that adds more character to it. And, you know, sometimes when I see this, usually what I think when I see this is it could be a loose threat of violence, maybe. I don't know. It's really weird because it always comes from the person who isn't vegan who makes the loose threat of violence. And then another comment. It's actually breathtaking how dumb you are, lol. And you swan about looking down your nose at people as if you're some smart education toff. Lol, Australians are in a league of their own. Ha ha ha. Like yas don't even know the difference between the words brought and bought. There's been some edits there too. I mean, spelling mistakes weren't even edited. And I just responded, relax, bruv. Breathe. Nick, you live in a fucking bubble in this country. Nick. Your schools teach you fuck all. And most of you are dumb enough to think you live in a good country. Lol, it's beyond words, mate. And then I'd say, didn't you move over to Australia from the UK? That's the point, Nick. You're never relaxed. All I did was write a joke about how people should just all calm down. Well, you didn't. You said, shut up and go read a book. Now, I can imagine that if Adam were to see this episode of the Shit Vegan Show, what would happen is there will be personal attacks, character attacks, everything else thrown at me. Sophie Alex, my girl, they're just being consistent with their violent belief system. Isn't that the truth? Ain't that some truth? See, we could bounce off of each other. You could be standing there saying this. You know, bouncy, off of each other. You feel me? Yeah, true. Just consistent with the violent belief system, which is carnism, like we were talking about here. Carnism debunked. Well, this is a website debunking carnism. Carnism is the invisible belief system that is entrenched in our society, that has humans believe that certain animals are worthy of moral consideration and some aren't, and that we view animals as on a lesser plane to us. Carnism is the opposite of veganism. So there's veganism and then there's carnism. And that's the... So vegan, vegetarian, not vegetarian, vegan, I don't know, vegan, carnist, carnism, and so on. Does that make sense to people? I mean, I know it makes sense to some people here, but to people who aren't viewing, Paulius, I see your name there, mate. Drop us a line. What's going on? My friend from Lithuania. Mr. Paulius a vegan. My friend. Oh yeah, so carnism debunked. That's what that is. So, yeah, what happened here was... Oh yeah, that's Kate's post. So what happened here? Didn't you move... just calm down. Go fuck off and be a vegan and relax. Stop acting like you're better than everyone. Fucking chill out, mate, and maybe read a few fucking books. To be honest, like, I'm not even kidding. I've never read an entire book in my whole life. Never. I've never sat down and got through a whole book. But there is one book that I want to read, and it's written by my friend Chris Page, and I'm going to go and read it. I'm going to go buy it from him at his market stall on the weekend. I'm going to get him to autograph it, and I'm going to sit down and read it. Let me try and find it. Actually, I'll bring it up on the show when I buy it. Let me do that. Legend. Chris Page, absolute legend. Back to what I was saying. Yeah, so people just say, go be a vegan, but don't force it on us. It's like, well, we're not forcing really anything on you. We're saying, hey, stop paying people to force a knife into someone else's throat. Stop forcing harm on others. Like, we're just saying, hey, you should stop forcing. We're not forcing anything on you. If we were like, they say the word forcing, but they just don't understand the meaning of the word force, right? God. But relax and stop acting like you're better than everyone. It's like, I don't think I'm better than anyone. I just think that what I have to say makes sense, and no one is willing to challenge what I'm saying. What you've written here it's not a challenge. There's no challenge there. There's no argument. And I'm always calm, right, when it comes to this. And it'll always, like, go through my Facebook, go through my history, go through my YouTube channel, go through my Instagram, go through all of the interactions that I have online, and I am always calm. Always. I invite anyone here, I invite any person here to go through my internet history and find me attacking someone personally, attacking their character, swearing at someone. Yeah, I'll say the word fuck here and there, but I won't say you're a fuckhead or fuck you or things like that. I wouldn't say that. I invite people to share where I've not been able to back myself up in a conversation, share where I've not answered a question without having put a question forward first. See, the way I do it is I put a question out there, and then someone else will ask me a question on top of that. And I'm like, no. We've got a baseline discussion. The only way we can progress this is if you answer this question. If you can't answer this question, then we're not going to progress this conversation, because that's the only way this progresses. It's either that, or you sit there and you are just being dishonest, because I ask people questions like, do you think it's okay to stab an animal in the throat? And then they'll turn around and then they'll deflect it and move it somewhere else, and then they'll try and bring something else onto the table, like, oh, but you kill plants and so on. It's like, well, hang on. Let's not move to that first. We'll get to that. Let's come back to where we were first. And yeah, that's just how it is. But this could fill the whole hour. Yeah, so I responded saying, I've been calm the whole time. All I did was share an image to Facebook. You made an irrelevant comment. And what I said, hang on, you made an irrelevant comment, and I said that what you said was not an argument. Take a look at everything you are saying here. It would appear that I'm not the one who needs to relax. Am I right? Am I correct in saying that? I mean, or am I wrong? Am I wrong in saying that? Like, is someone willing to tell me that I'm wrong in saying that? Like, because if I am, of course you need to tell me why. And then, we can talk about that, but and I said, I don't need to read books to determine whether taking a life unnecessarily is right or wrong. Nick, all you do is complain about how... Oh, we got some comments. Yo, just tune in. I forgot. What's going on? Hey, plain reality, Mr. Paul. What's going on, friend? He's just popped his head in just a second ago. Oh, man. Okay. All right. Where were we? Yeah, so I don't need to read a book to determine whether stabbing an animal in the neck for food for no reason is morally justified, right? Well, yeah, you know what I mean. You understand. You feel me. Nick Oilers complain about how other people live their life. What the fuck? WTF gives you the right to do that, lol. You want to get pissed at people all the time for their diet. You're not chill at all. You're pushy, and it's verging on fascist. But veganism is not about a diet. It's not a diet. It's a position against unnecessary harm. It's a position against harm that can be reduced and should be reduced as much as we possibly can. And there's no argument against that, really, is there? I'm trying to stop using the term unnecessarily or needlessly, because there are arguments that could be brought back to us based on us saying that. And yeah, that's something I can go into on another show, but once I've sort of positioned myself with that, those arguments, then I can move that forward. But yeah, verging on fascist. I'm just sitting here on my computer desk or at my phone saying things on the internet. I just have no idea how that can just be so... I have absolutely no idea how someone can just say that you're being a fascist or you can't force everyone to be like you. A guy called Hitler tried that, Nick. Oh my God. Whenever this happens, it's just like, oh, how can people just be not... How can... Oh... Like, how is this even comparable? Like, shut the fuck up about women's rights if your mouth is full of dairy. What's being said here is just pointing to the hypocrisy of the women's rights movement when most of the people in the women's rights movement consume dairy, which is the byproduct of a suffering mother. A suffering woman of a different species. You feel me? Oh my God. I think you've got it wrong. I said to him, all I'm advocating for is to not harm others, lol. And bear in mind, I don't eat meat, but you can't force belief systems on people, so stop pushing uneducated bullshit, lol. Oh my God. I've been at this, for, I don't know, 5-6 years maybe, give or take. And uneducated bullshit. Oh, like I wouldn't say that I'm very, very educated, right? But I would say that I'm somewhat educated on this topic. Some people are just in a slumber. Ain't that some truth? Yeah. Like, I would absolutely say that I am able to argue for this. Like, a lot of people come to me privately and ask me for help with their arguments. And like, I just say what I think and just absorb the things that are said to me, and then they move on. They say that because they have no understanding or experience of true fascism, projecting his need to read a book, perhaps. Yeah. He's probably never read a book. Oh, well, later on he reveals that he has. Later on down here, he reveals that he has, for sure. Oh my God. Okay. And bear in mind, I said, and to be honest, I think those who harm others would be considered Hitler in the eyes of their victims, which are the animals. And I'm just someone who says, hey, we don't have to do that. Right? Right? But you do eat dairy, Adam, which is worse for animals than meat, in my opinion. Because, in the words of Aaron Janis, if you're raised for beef, you're raised for beef and killed. But if you're raised for dairy, you are emotionally and sexually exploited year after year until you can no longer produce any milk. And then when you go down, then you're killed and sold for beef. Arguably, there is more plot twist. Yeah, it's down there. There's a plot twist. I've revealed it. Arguably, that's worse than what happens to animals for meat. So here we go. But you do eat dairy, which is worse for the animals than meat. Yeah, but if someone disagrees, you get angry. Look at how you treat Silver at your party. You get any if someone eats meat. Leave the C words alone. And what happened with Silver? My mate Dan Silver, who wrote this. You know the track. He's a good mate of mine, right? And with your mates, wouldn't you want to be honest with them? And wouldn't want your mates to be honest with you? Now, at my party, what happened was me and Dan had a conversation about veganism. And Dan's he's not a vegan. And we had a conversation. And we got to on certain points and topics. And we got to a point where I had enough evidence to present a loaded question to him. And a loaded question, it forces the person to answer the question, and either way, it either admits that your position is absurd, or it admits that your position is inconsistent, and you need to change. So that's where it was, right? And he just wouldn't answer, and he would deflect. So then I would say, "Look, mate, you're being dishonest. It's almost as if you feel like you're protecting something and you're lying to protect it. And, I'm just being your mate and I'm just being honest with you. And that's what happened. Like, it didn't get heated. It got a bit warm, It's like, damn, man, bro, listen to what you're saying and listen to what I'm saying. Answer the question and so on. And then we moved on. And, we got back to drinking and having a party. So, like I said before, bringing up personal shit. You don't have to live in a country that don't belong to white people either. So, what? You're racist for See, like, what the fuck, dude? Like, first I'm a fascist, now I'm a racist, just for saying, hey, stop harming animals and living where I live. Oh my God. I think this is the whitest guy I know, though. So, get that. Find out your background and fuck off home. Says the guy who came from the UK. Oh, he corrected that one. I didn't get angry. I got annoyed because he was being dishonest. But I don't get angry at people for disagreeing with me. I have mountains of evidence to prove that. On my YouTube channel, Facebook posts, comments, etc. What did I... I think I made a spelling mistake. But yeah, you can read it. This ain't even your country to speak for. Like, why are we talking about country? Like, anyone who's tracking this can see, right? Anyone who's smart enough. It's a straw man and an ad hominem. He has no argument, so resorts to name calling. Correct, Paul. Correct, mate. Shit. Yes, absolutely. It's a character attack in place of an argument. And it doesn't respond, right? What do you think of the music in the background, guys? What do you think of the music in the background? Like, do I need to change it up a bit? Do I need to cut it? Do I need to slow it down? Do I need to bring something a lot more mellow into the mix? What do you think? Give me some feedback. Oh my God. But yeah, welcome to the Shit Vegan Show. You're here. If you're here on YouTube, thanks for tuning in and getting this far. Please head across to twitch.tv/shitvegans to view the show live every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m, which is South Australian time. And if you're here live right now on Twitch, please head across to youtube.com/shitvegans. And Instagram.com/shitvegans. All the information is in the description of this show. So, as we continue, I said to him, "You into the tunes? Fuck yeah, I like it. Sick. I'd love to play requests, but unfortunately copyright. And you know that. But what about this one? Ready? What about this? The Shit Vegans theme song. Written by Free Stream Music on YouTube. Suss it. I mean, I made this playlist with all the tracks. Awesome, right? Tell me about it. Ooh, I gotta press play again. Wait, no I don't. Where's the beats at? Oh, the song just finished. All right, back to it. Okay. So why would you bring race into this? And then he must have been responding to something up there because he said, no one cares if you have evidence of anything. Lol, the world knows, Nick. Some people just have different opinions. Grow up with it and stop preaching. It seems like he's trying to bait you into communicating with him on a level he understands. Pretty clear he lacks the comprehension to understand your position, but in order to further his agenda of making you seem like the bad guy, he wants to lash back at you. Big tunes. Yeah, turn it up. Ready? All right. Prepare your ears for 1 second. You're white, so by default, you're racist. Apparently that's the case. I really like this one, actually. This one's got like a pretty sick... hang on, I probably should have brought it in. This one is called Coming Lights by Free Stream Music on Spotify. This one I played when I was doing my birthday party stream. What was it? Last year, yeah. And it had the... It's really, really awesome. What do you think? It's Yossi. Very good. I'll try and remember to bring it in at the part. But yeah, back to it. Now, this had originally, it's because of what's been going on in America right now with the Supreme Court overturning the Roe v. Wade decision. And it's just poignant right now. I think I missed the drop. Hi, puppy. It's probably not a good idea. Oh my God. All right. Back to it. Okay. Where were we? I said, yeah, correct. Some people have different opinions. Correct. Doesn't mean that they are correct. You aren't vegan. Therefore, you would be considered Hitler in the eyes of your victims. But good point, Sophie. He can't comprehend what I'm saying. And it makes sense. Thank you for helping me to view it that way, because that absolutely makes sense. It's hard to have a conversation when the argument is so nuanced within me already, and to try and put that out to people. But the thing is, this argument, you can use the most simplest words. You can use the most simplest sayings to have people understand it, right? Like, just some really simple things, like when someone comes up with plants feel pain, you can say, well, okay, let's put that up against a puppy and a carrot. Which one do you think would scream? And then anyone who's, I guess, intelligent enough to understand the comparison, it's like, well, you're comparing a puppy, because they say animals, that what they're referring to is cows, pigs, and chickens. But if we use puppy, then they have to bring their logic across to the puppy as well, because the puppy's an animal. Which one would be harmed the most, the puppy or the carrot? And which one would invoke an emotional, instinctual response in you? It definitely wouldn't be the carrot. And if it is, and not the dog, then and I'm pissing you off, and I live in the same city as you, I think I better be packing my shit up and leaving, because I don't want to be murdered. Because usually people who harm animals go on to be murderers, right? Not usually. Sometimes. Let's continue. Why bring dairy into a debate about abortion? You see how dumb you are? That's what you did in the beginning. I'm bringing race into it to make a point of how stupid what you're doing is. Like he hasn't pinpointed exactly what it is that he thinks is stupid. Shivigans. So, I have no idea. Humans are not logically consistent most of the time. Correct. I wonder where Avery is. Avery's not here. Oh, man. That's a shame. Avery's usually here with me. She might come. We got some time. And Tia. Where's Tia? That's all right. She'll watch it later. Okay. See, it takes so long to get through sometimes. That's why I was like, I'll be able to push this out. I'll be able to make this go. Oh, man. Okay. And you're too dumb to even realize, lol. I said, this post is about dairy, and you're calling me dumb. So I just put a screen cap of the picture and highlighted the dairy part. Oh, my goodness. The reason this is about dairy is because it affects females of a different species. You can't advocate women's rights if you condemn women to systematic oppression, abuse, and torture. So I took that as a response to my post. See, we got there. We got there eventually as a response to the post that I made. Why are you bringing dairy into a debate about abortion? You see how dumb you are? Well, yeah, so there. This is why. The reason is blah, 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 blah. So you can see, like, there's where he put his, somewhat of a response. And here's where I responded. See, this is how long it takes sometimes. Being a vegan on the internet, right? On Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever. Being a vegan on these platforms. Hold that thought. I think the difficulty is that it's not only intellectual intelligence you're dealing with, it's also emotional intelligence. You have to have a certain level of emotional intelligence to put your pride aside and admit you're being inconsistent in your beliefs. Correct, yeah, makes a lot of sense. See, you need to be standing right here because you can provide this feedback live and we can bounce off of it. Plus, we're hot, so it works. She vegans. Yeah, so, all right. Where are we going? Move that across so I can see all the comments on the screen here. I bought something yesterday. Might be here tomorrow. I'm going to go through it a bit later. It's on the screen. Like, something on the screen is pointing to it if you're watching. Okay. Suggestions regarding people's views on abortions should be linked to your vegan views is fucking... I'm not going to say it. And so egotistical. Get the fuck over it yourself, mate. Spend your time educating yourself because you really need to. Happy to interrupt your train of thought from here. I should be doing it live with me, but that's right. Where were we? You really need to. All I'm doing is saying what I think on Facebook, which I'm allowed to do. Nothing wrong with that. Nick, who the fuck do you think you are? Just a guy who uses his Facebook page to advocate for what he believes, really. You're really uneducated, man. It's that simple. Oh, I'm sorry, brother. Bro, come on, dude. Now, if there's some sort of reading or typing impediment, that's fine. Like, I'm sorry if that's the case. So I don't mean to be laughing at that, but if that's the case, if there is that involved, I don't know whether you should be using Facebook to make any sort of argument. I would suggest trying to use another form of advocacy if you're looking at doing something like that, because saying to me you're really uneducated and, not providing an argument and doing whatever it is that you do. Like, to be honest, I've been at this long enough and consistent enough that anyone who comes to my profile, I'm willing to bet is able to track what I'm saying because I've been at it for so long. Man. Nick, what if a 10-year-old girl is, I don't want to say it on here, and she can't get abortion? Shut the fuck up with your vegan shit, mate, lol. Stop talking, go cut fences on farms, break animals out of slaughterhouses. All you do is talk with zero on action. You're all talk. Now, I maybe all talk online or whatever, but that's all I can do online on Facebook, right? I invite people on the show all the time. All the time. all the time. No one has taken me up on it. Except for the people who I want to interview and shit like that. But no one talks about it. Now, to be fair, I didn't ask you here to join me, right? To be logically consistent, I have to allow people to get abortions, even though I do not agree with them. If I have the stance on my body, my choice for injections, I cannot tell someone what they should do with their body. See, my arguments for that is it's not arguing against what someone can and can't do with their body. It's whether that decision is the right decision or not. And that's my argument. Like, freedom of choice to do whatever you want, but the choice can either be a choice that could be good or could be bad. And personally, I don't think that is the right choice. And that's just speaking from being educated on the topic, knowing people, and just learning about it, right? Some people go through it and they heavily regret their decision, and they wish they could go back and change it. And some people have had 2 abortions a year for a decade and it doesn't affect them, right? You know, I don't care what you do with, like, what you do or don't do with your body, right? That's your choice. But just remember, choices sometimes have consequences. That's why I always am now advocating for dual responsibility for the person for the people who are involved. Remember the saying, or heard of the saying, it takes 2 to tango? Well, I think that is some truth. So that's just one of those things that I believe, and one of those things that I think, and I speak about it online. And people just default to, Nick, like, how dare you have a say on what I can and can't do with my body. I'm like, I always have to immediately say, hey, I've been consistently pro-choice the whole time. The whole time. I would never advocate to take a choice away from someone. Never. Never. Not under any circumstances. Choose what you need to do. Do what you need to do. But just know that, like Paul said here, exactly, yes, every choice has consequences. Whether they be physically, emotionally, in other ways. So, yeah, that's just what I think about that. You're all talk. Notice how the only arguments are from extreme circumstances. Wouldn't you say that 90% or more happen for the reason that people just don't want to have kids? And I've been involved in actions like that. I run a podcast. I use my spare time to speak about people in the streets. I use Facebook. I do heaps for the movement, actually. You're all talk. You do nothing, all this sort of shit that he says. There's so much positive you could have doing just... What? There's so much positive you could have doing, but you're softcore as fuck, and you call yourself an activist. No, I would say you're not educates on how much suffering goes on in the world, and just assume what you like with zero fucking research. Oh my god. I just don't know what to say to that. Like, I don't know how to respond to that. Like, the only way I can respond to it is just by pointing to it and saying, hey, look, what you're saying is dumb. Like, legit. Oh, Nick, gotcha. You just called someone dumb. No, that's a straw man. You're misrepresenting what I said. I said, what you're saying is dumb. But that's what happens. You know, those are just quick fire examples, you know. Goodness me. All right, we go. Back to it. No, I would say you're not... I said that. You're not an activist, Nick. Not at all, mate. you're an armchair unit. Well, bruz, I'm standing. I tend to stand when I do the shows because I can dance around and get moving and shit. And then, you know, I started to troll a bit. Oh, no, I'm not. I didn't have it on the screen. I started to troll a bit. Dropping gifts. The fact that you're treating... The fact you're treating as a joke shows how fake your care for animals is. You should be upset, but you're not. Brother, I am upset so much about what happens to animals. I don't even understand why I'm even saying this. Like look at, if you're watching this, look at your screen right now. Look at the shirt I'm wearing. Look at this sign in the bottom corner here. Look at this coffee cup. Look at that sign. Back on my bed. Oh. Sophie, right. So now you're a racist, fascist, and a bad activist. And he has a conversation with you on your Facebook page that you use for activism. Right. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I started troll and whatnot. But yes, this is how serious your care or how fake your care for animals is. Like, who would do all this shit if they didn't care about the movement? I'm just trying to be as activist as I possibly can with the technology that I have access to. Sophie, getting the exact engagement that allows you to continue to be seen favors your algorithm and allows you to be seen by more people. Absolutely. That's perfect. That is exactly the reason why I engage with all these people. I even engage with people who... I even engage with people who, like, angry react or laugh react or whatever. I tag them and say, why do you think it's funny? Or I tag them or sometimes I just block people who just like comments because I just don't know who they are. Only if they're friends of mine though. If they're someone who I'm not friends with, that means the algorithm's brought them to my page. Okay, Paul. Just a thought. I think abortion should cost maybe $2,000. The woman should be able to nominate the guy who got her pregnant, and the $2,000 fee is split between them. They can go on a payment plan but need to pay. Otherwise, them being free means there's no reason for the average person to make sure they try not to get remnant or pregnant. I'm guessing that's what that meant. Yeah, hey, that's an idea. Something you could advocate for. See how that goes. Present that to Parliament. Oh man, but we can talk, we can joke, we can have some fun. No issues with that. And then this, my friend Sarah made a comment. She's lovely. She's great. Done activism with her, and she's a real one. She's a real one. You know those people in your life that you engage with and interact with, and you meet and you hang out with, and you find out that through certain splits of each movement, you always lose friends with each split of each movement. I used to be real good friends with Lee McBride, the director of the Vegan Festival, but she talks shit on me on the internet now because we disagree on one thing. But that's probably the plan, divide and conquer. I was friends with a whole bunch of people, but some people have shared what I've said online and did this and did that. And it's cool. It's fine. Where was I going with that? What was I saying? Yeah, with each split of the movement, right? Like, Sarah's a real one because she's, for as long as we've known each other, we've always been on the same page. If any of that makes sense. And that's what I refer to as a real one in my my dictionary of Nick things to say. Real one. There's a few real ones in my life. Okay. So she drops this comment. Have you ever seen this? Nick isn't attacking anyone. He's merely highlighting some people's hypocrisy and hopefully wakening them up to other atrocities in the world, which we humans do have control over. Please calm yourself down and know from this post that Nick is meaning no harm. Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate that. One thing also, I'll just segue, as a result of this post, I also went on to make another post because this is something that has I've brought to my own attention, is this. So people out there, please don't ask me to help defend your posts online anymore. I spend enough time defending my own with almost nothing in return. Defend yourself and don't expect anyone to help you. All I'm saying is if you can't do it by yourself and stand your own ground, don't expect others to do it for you or help you with that. And I guess that's how Shit Vegans was born. I suppose. Shit Vegans. So, as we were saying, back to this one. Yeah, and I thanked Sarah privately. I said, thank you for that. Really appreciate it. Don't know where all my friends are I get friends asking me to help them. I had someone else ask me to help them today, and I said, sorry. No. Defend yourself. I've done enough for others with nothing in return. Like, I don't expect it, but I'm just done with it. I've done it enough. I'll do it when I feel like it, but, you know, I might do it to create some content for Shit Vegans. But yeah, this is going to go over an hour, so we've managed to make it. Okay, so go save animals. People are already aware of their hypocrisy. 100%, I'm being serious when I say let's look into a farm in Adelaide. We can actually go there, free animals, and maybe even do a huge boycott so that we are actually making some impact. People choose to eat meat because they don't care. The fact is 90% of people are shit. Vegans. So let's actually be the one to act on it and not just talk. Are you guys in? Or are you just going to add to the hypocrisy by not talking about it? But not by only talking about it. Seriously, think about that, because by only talking about it, you're being a hypocrite yourself, and I find that hilarious. The hell? Yeah, man. Like, dude, I've been out front of slaughterhouses. I've been out front of factory farms. Brother, like, I've talked to people in the streets. I've been to protests with megaphones. I've been on the megaphone. I own a megaphone. Like, you're telling me that I'm not someone who does anything for the movement? You're telling me that I'm someone who who doesn't do that? You know? I've even got this written on there. Well, on a sticker. I've also got She Begins. You know? Like, please don't sit there and tell me I'm doing nothing or have done nothing or any of that, because that is so far from the truth, my friend. All right. P.S. I'm pretty much vegan. We're getting to the end of it. I'm pretty much vegan and very educated on the industry. You don't need to waste your time sending me YouTube links. Lol, I read books in it. What books have you read? Now got off your fucking softcore lazy asses and go free some cows and pigs. You're all hypocrites yourself. This is actually hilarious. I can just picture him just sitting there typing this and just fucking cacking. And I'm sitting there this morning just going, What the fuck am I interacting with? And I'm sorry, but protests don't change anything. Choosing not to eat it change the fact it's being killed. We have to act, not just talk. Now, do you understand me? I don't mean no harm. I'm not taking any advice from someone who's not even a vegan themselves on the topic of veganism. I'm doing the same thing and pointing out your hypocrisy, and look at how you act. Like, how exactly have I acted? Like, bro, provide some evidence of what you're saying. So he responds to Sarah, go save some animals. People are already aware of the hypocrisy. 100% I'm being serious. What the hell? Oh, he just re-commented his thing. Now read my other comments, you hypocrite, and let's find a farm to go to and actually do something. Also, you don't have free speech written into your laws in this country, so protests count for fuck all legally, and we need to actually do something. You're wrong, mate. People aren't aware. I only realised at 40 the horrors of the industry and our hypocrisy, and now I'm educating people in their 80s who are making changes. 90% of the people aren't shit, so 90% of people aren't shit, so many are just conditioned and unaware. Why on earth are you attacking people who are trying to make a difference and do good? Nick is clearly an activist for the animals and is doing a fucking awesome job. Thanks, Sarah. To be honest, I don't think I even read all the way through of your comment. It looks like you need to take your anger and use it wherever it's needed and not helping. It's not helping here. Thank you, Sarah. Appreciate that. Legend. But then I responded saying, at least now I have some content for the Shit Vegan show tonight, which is where you're at. And thank you for tuning in. I've managed to keep 4 viewers right now. So if you're here before I leave, let's... before I go, this is what I bought. I had some spare money and I thought, you know what? I'm just going to buy a new one of these. So this is the new upgraded version of the Rodecaster, which is the upgraded version of that, where all the music's coming through and everything. So, yes. So that's, yeah. Got all the sound things. I can plug, in here, I can plug instruments. So I can have Chris Delaney on and plug music things straight into it rather than running it through a microphone plugged into the amp. Headphone jacks, obviously, left and right, all this sort of stuff. So be keen to see it and work it. And yeah, so the next show will be done through that. So I'm really, really excited. And what else? Yeah, so I guess that's it for this episode of the Shit Vegans show. I'm going to leave you with a new track that Chris Delaney dropped for me today. He sent it to me. And yeah, so that's what we're going to bring in. Let me bring it up. I haven't listened to it. I did listen to it, but I didn't give it a proper listen. So let's listen to it together. Thanks for tuning in to the Shit Vegan show. My name is Nick. Feel free to go across to YouTube, Instagram, or if you're here on YouTube, go across to Twitch. Search Shit Vegans and you'll be able to find it. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. Thanks to Adam for providing the content for tonight's show. And I may do another stream between now and next week. So please be sure to tune in for that. And again, thank you for tuning in to the Shit Vegan show. And I will catch you later. Peace, peace, peace. This is Chris Delaney with his new track. Catch you later. This is Shit Vegans. Peace.